Hey everybody, it's Moonbo here, coming at you with another episode of Scrap Mechanic Suggested Creations. Now, before we get right into this awesome episode, I just wanted to mention that, of course, the giveaway is still going on, and good luck to anybody who has entered. The draw will be finished on Saturday night at midnight, so Sunday morning midnight, technically, Atlantic Standard Time. The winner will be selected Sunday morning, and I will announce it on Sunday at some point, so make sure you tune in for that. And I also just want to say hello to all of the new subscribers who have joined recently, of course, after just hitting 15,000 and still going. It's absolutely amazing. I hope you guys enjoy Endless Scrap Mechanic. So, without further ado, let's get into this aircraft carrier and the MiG-25. Alright, so to start off, let's talk about aircraft carrier in Scrap Mechanics. So, as you can see, this one is absolutely massive. There's some weird stuff going on out there. This was an interesting build. I am going to mention that I started this build a long time ago. I was going to make it hover originally. There's some thrusters on the bottom that don't do anything, but as you can see, this thing is massive. I wanted an aircraft carrier that could hold the kind of planes that I like to make, so obviously like that MiG-25 there, and similar aircraft that I've already made. They're all pretty much the same size. So here we are on this huge aircraft carrier that I did start a long time ago, and I've decided I'm going to weld it to the ground. So it's going to be more of like a structure that you can actually land and take off some airplanes, so that you're not restricted with the lag from a hovercraft. So I'm thinking this is a smart decision. Let me know what you think in the comments though, guys. I would love to hear your input on this aircraft carrier. I can definitely build it into something amazing. Obviously, as we stroll through here, it's pretty much bare bones. But we're going to take a little tour of it anyway, just to see what it has to offer. So here you can see there's some massive type of some tower there with a whole bunch of antenna, and this is like a radar right there. Pretty cool. Just some outdoor chairs, obviously. You'd be lounging on that deck. So this is just something, I'm not too sure what I'd put in here. There's all sorts of things we can put in here, guys. I want to make this a detailed build, because it is welded to the ground after all, so, I mean, why not, right? Here's just a lone chair here, I don't know. There's loads of room, guys. I'm ready to have a lot of fun here. Oh, here we go, a little side spot here. Oh, good. Nice view of the jets taking off. And I do believe I took reference from a picture for this build, so it might be similar to an aircraft carrier that is already existing in the real world. So let's just make our way down here, guys. There's not really much to see, just a couple more balconies there. And this is the ground floor, I should say the first deck, actually. So this is the airstrip here. So you can see, if you walk around the exterior, there are, like, net guards that actually, they go around the entire perimeter of this entire aircraft carrier, and I'm pretty sure that's pretty much realistic. In real life, there's, like, net guards, so if you fall, you're not in too much danger. At least there's something that might stop you. So this is actually a huge build, though, and I'm gonna just show you guys real quick here. This is kind of like where I started getting into it, right? So this is kind of like where we could go. So you get a really nice view, though, of what was happening in here. So if you are on the ground, though, you definitely just run over to this end right here. You can see there's some chairs that go up, and you can get up onto the flight deck there. So this is going to be kind of like one of the doors that goes in. I think there's loads of room to work with here as far as an aircraft carrier goes. I'm not too sure exactly how big I'll go with it, but one of the things I really want to do is like a large engine space. So maybe let me know in the comments. You want to see a big engine space? I really do. I think I'm going to do it no matter what, honestly. But there it is, that's the aircraft carrier. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to keep on working away at it. So we are now going to just slide right on in to the MiG-25. There's quite a bit to talk about, though, on this one. So here we can see there's a great bunch of detail. This was a creation that I built while live streaming. Of course, you guys know, every Saturday, live streams. So here, though, this is the jet that I worked on, and I'm honestly going to say I spent a few more hours on this one. Getting the flight controls and everything down packed was actually quite troublesome. And it's because it flies like a real plane, actually. So let's go through some of the details here of the exterior. You can see some nice use of various types of pieces to get some different effects there. I love using the screws and the bolts because, I mean, they are kind of bulky, but it gives you a bit better of an effect, especially if you're using wood textures for lightweight. But honestly, with the mods that just came out, I can make anything with anything now. So we can actually just sneak into the back end here of the jet. So you can see this is kind of like what I was working with and where I was doing all of my thruster stuff. So with the connection tool though, you can see there's not very many. I tried to make it as efficient as possible, and I definitely kept all of the thrusters internal, minus the ones that are outside there on the back. That's more so just for some design. So some really neat landing gear. This jet in real life is two-seater. So here you can see I can hop into the back seat right here, and at the front there is the second seat right there. So this one I just kind of pop out like so, and you can actually find a little crack right here if you want to get in. But if I don't want to go into that little crack right there, I can actually just kind of get down here, and this is pretty much the easiest way to do it. I decided to kind of make a well here for the landing gear on the front here, and you can actually go right here. If I bring that up, you can see that's the seat right there for the driver's seat, so there's a sneaky little hole there. There's quite a few buttons, but this is pretty well balanced, and I mean, I've gotten some flack in the past for the flight controls on my airplanes, and I mean, I can only say, like, if you don't like the way I make my flying creations, then you're welcome to make your flying creations the way you want to, and that's why Scrap Mechanic is so much fun. So let's fly around an awesome airplane, shall we? But first, I'm gonna just quickly go over the buttons here. So 1, of course, is your cockpit, 2 is your, like, forward thrust, and 3 is your lift. Now, before we move on, I have to say that 2 and 3 work in conjunction, so the lift won't work without the forward thrust, which is actually something that is kind of cool. It makes it very real to fly. So you can see if I press the 3 key, which is my lift, you can see I'm not actually coming off of the ground. The front comes off a little bit, but once I let go of that, it just drops right back down, so we're not actually producing any lift without our forward thrust. So keep that in mind when you're flying this, because of course this is going to be on the workshop. You know it is. I can upload again. I'm so happy about that. So that is pretty cool though. I'm gonna do something here. Let's see if we can. I'm actually gonna hop out of here. There's a few more things I want to show you guys with a little more detail, and I've noticed sometimes on my showcases I forget to show landing gear and stuff properly. So maybe we can just balance this on a lift here. If that's kind of like the center point. So there, you can actually see the landing gear is doing its thing right now. But we can just hop into the seat right here. We'll get a good view of the landing gear. I decided to make it like a double folding landing gear. Obviously, it's got some shakes right now. And the reason for that is actually because I had to add an extra block above there, or else the landing gear would do the splits, and it was actually kind of unfortunate, but that was a little bit of a solution there. So if I press the 8 key, you'll see that those open up like so, and then the wheels shut inside, and then they just tuck themselves away, and then the covers go back over top like so. So it's a really nice flush finish. I'm really happy with the way the landing gear turned out on this one. It's usually something that takes a little bit more time, and that's why I don't make the landing gear on the streams, is because it's a lot of trial and error, and I have to focus. But when I'm streaming, I'm hanging out with you guys. But that's enough chatting about the airplane. How about Moonbo? You do some flying. I'm gonna bring it on back to the all the way to the aft end of the flight deck here. And we're gonna just hop inside and fly around. You guys can see what this thing is capable of, and it's gonna be obvious to you that the 2 and 3, like I mentioned before, is how you need to fly it. So I would suggest, if you're gonna get this on the workshop, that you fly it at 90 field of view, and you get this wicked view right here. You go to strict follow cam, and you don't even need to use your hand on the mouse. You just fly around, and the beauty of having this aircraft carrier is actually because you get to see where it is at the center of the map, so all you have to do is, you know, fly in your circles. So I'm gonna get that landing gear up like so, and start flying, guys. I wish you guys the best of luck if you start flying this thing. It's kind of difficult, but like I said, it's just the way I've started making my planes, and I'm a-okay with it because I can fly them. So I hope you guys can fly them too, though. You just got to give it your best shot and maybe have a little bit of patience. Alright, there we go. So I want to get my view sorted out again. So now we are going to keep an eye on that aircraft carrier, and you guys are going to get a chance to see just how cool this plane flies. So we can do some pretty sick barrel rolls like so, and we can kind of just do like a nice little nose dive like this. So what if we drop her down like so, and then pull it back really hard. I wonder, actually, you know what? I'm gonna try and do a loop-de-loop. We did the barrel roll. Now let's do a loop-de-loop. I want to see if this plane can do it. I haven't even tried it yet. Usually I try to do that, like, right away. That's the first thing you gotta do when you're flying an airplane here. Alright, I think I'm just gonna do it way up in the sky, just because I know I'm not gonna hit the ground. So, loop-de-loop, here we go. Camera's all wonky. And I did it! Nice! Okay, let's do that with free cam, guys. Let's see what the free cam will do for us, because I want to see that with a much bigger view. And I'm going to actually bring us back down to the ground, because I can't see anything anymore, and I'm scared when I can't see my mothership. Alright, there we go. Back at a safer altitude now. I am going to attempt the loop-de-loop here once I get just a little bit higher. Alright, here we go. Loop-de-loop with the free cam. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, yeah, look at that. Uh-oh. Okay, I shouldn't have used the camera. That's my mistake, but I can recover this, because my creations aren't that hard to fly. Alright, so you can actually press W as well, and that will give you just a little extra oomph, but, I mean, that's kind of just being saved for when Scrap Mechanic has some bigger maps, because honestly, these ones are just too small. I tweeted the devs, though, like I said in a past video, and I'm sure they're going to give us what we want. They are awesome, and they are definitely doing a great job on the game, guys. I'm really excited to actually make my first airplane with some of the new mods from the workshop. I have a feeling we're going to see some really cool stuff. But guys, that's what I got so far. Like I said before, let me know in the comments what you think about the aircraft carrier. And of course, let me know what you think of the plane. Fly it on the Steam Workshop. I'm going to upload that for you guys as well, and maybe a couple more creations. So of course, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed for Endless Scrap Mechanic, you might as well do that too. Do yourself a favor. And I will be seeing you guys on the next one. And of course, don't forget, live streams every Saturday. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye for now.